Nashville, but have you had to talk to him at all about kind of balancing that with also knowing when you step on the football field, you have to be pretty focused on what's going on?
Yeah, it's you certainly have to be focused. When we talked about that, I want them to enjoy the whole experience here, and particularly I think the first couple of days, you're a little bit more lax. Let them enjoy a little bit more of their free time there. And but when it's time to meet, when it's time to practice, you have to focus. And that's we talked about that. In Louisville before we came down, these guys have done a good job with that. And then as you get closer to the game, you can certainly dial back. The more of the free time and more of the focus time has to come into play. And so. Our guys have done a good job with that, and and hopefully today will be more, getting back to like a normal during the season, like a Friday type day, and then obviously tomorrow, is a normal game day. But our guys have enjoyed it. They've handled it well, and it's been a good week.
Joe, just what would it mean for you guys to get a win in this bowl game? Obviously, that'd be your second straight winning season, and what would that do for momentum going into the offseason?
I think it'll be huge, and as Coach Satterfield alluded to earlier, the reward of winning 6 games or more in the regular season, having the opportunity to play in the postseason, not only is it valuable, for the opportunity to end your season in the senior season with a win, but the developmental aspect of it, so the entire bowl experience of back at Starkville, Mississippi State, of getting our young guys a bunch of reps and getting them developed, to me that was invaluable. And then coming here and getting prepared for the game, but like I mentioned earlier, with all the positive momentum and all the good things we have going on, have the opportunity to finish it and send these seniors off on the right way, it would mean a ton to me personally, mean a lot to the team and a lot to the program as well.
Scott, you've been really successful as a head coach in bowl games. Can you pinpoint why that may be?
I think we have some good teams at App State. It's you obviously can't put a pinpoint one thing or two things maybe. I think a combination of good teams, matchups. The guys obviously you have to be focused on what they're trying to do, and I think I guess there's several ways to handle bowl prep. As you look back, from the end of the season to the time you play your bowl game, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. I mean, you can go full pads and really get after your guys. Maybe with the young guys and that type of thing, you can be a little bit not as many reps with the older guys. I just think there's a lot of different ways to do it. The way we've chosen to do it is, we're a little bit lighter, not as much tackling and that type of thing throughout there. We try to make the practices fun, and enjoyable. And I think, when the teams that get to the game that are excited about it, that are want to play and want to be there, I think usually end up playing pretty well.
Coach Moorhead, there have been reports about a fight between Garrett Schrader and Willie Gay. Could you address that for people that's kind of been like the big talk amongst the fan base? Could you talk about whether that happened and how you addressed that with the team?
Yeah, I mean, to me it was a team issue that we handled internally, and it's been resolved. Garrett is here on site. He's at practice yesterday. He's in good spirits, and more than anything, we want our focus to be, like we mentioned earlier, on these seniors, on this team, and on this game. So this team mattered. It was handled. Garrett's here. He's at practice. Just saw him up on the hall eating a bag of licorice. So things are going good.
All right, and then as a follow-up to that, a lot of people have obviously had strong opinions about what happened or what they think happened. And Willie, I guess he's had a rough year being suspended for 8 games, and people see him as the guy who knocked the starting quarterback out of this big bowl game. What would you say to people who have developed a perception of Willie based on those 2 things? What would you say to defend Willie?
I don't think I need to, and I think, like I said, we've addressed it as a team matter. It's been handled internally. Willie and Garrett have talked to each other. And we've, like I said, we've addressed it. We've moved on with it, and want our focus to be on this team and this game. And it's a great opportunity in front of us.
Scott, several of your guys talked about just this 3 weeks of bowl prep time just being a really big bonding time for the team, that it was different. They weren't hanging out with position groups. They hung out as a big group. How valuable has this been beyond just whatever happens in the game tomorrow for what you're building going forward?
Yeah, I think that's been part of what we're trying to do here since we got here last December as a staff, and really trying to create consistency, create trust and a bond, the chemistry between the team, when we started that last January. You know, we kind of just worked through all that. Ended up winning some games this year to be able to play out postseason. And part of postseason, you know, schools, they're done. There's not any other students there on campus. I mean, it's just your team. And so, you know, the time they were able to spend together has been awesome. You know, creating that bond. You know, we have 27 seniors, so those guys will be gone after this. But these young guys, the ones that have experienced this, we want them to have hopefully enjoyed it. I think they have. We did a lot of things together as a team. You know, something that they'll aspire to be, work harder in the off season next year so they can get back here, you know, get back to another bowl game and have another successful season. So it's been great, the bonding that we've had, not only as players, but also the coaches with the players.
Scott, what is your quarterback plan? I mean, you played two in a lot of games this year, but toward the end of the season, it was mostly Mikhail's job.
Yeah, you know, Cunningham was going to start and play, and, you know, and Evan's going to be ready and available to go if he needs to play. You know, we've kind of been doing that all year. You know, I said this beginning of last year, it was the season. I don't really care who the quarterback is. You know, whoever's playing, I want to be able to move the football. And, you know, we're now at a point where both guys are healthy. You know, went through the middle of the season where, you know, Cunningham got dinged up and Evan was dinged up, and, you know, we had to play both. And so, you know, now Cunningham's healthy and, you know, he's ready to go, so he'll play, and, you know, we'll see how it goes.
Coach Stafford,
Yes.
earlier in the year, you talked a lot about when you got here, you wanted to build a culture. Now that you've been able to do that a little bit, you mentioned just the bonding these guys have had. How much does that help, even though it's 12 and a half months into your time here?
Yeah, I mean, it helps. I think every time you spend with your teammates, obviously helps. You're creating memories. You're creating that bond. You're creating, you know, something that will last for the rest of these guys' lives. And, you know, and I think the things that we're doing together, you know, it makes it stronger. I think, you know, so when you do face adversity, you know, you're not going to fold. You know, you're going to continue to fight. You're going to push through. And we all know you're going to face adversity. There's no question about that. You know, in life, but particularly on the football field, you know, when you're out there playing, and if you really feel good about your brothers beside you, you'll give everything, you'll lay it on the line for them, and that's part of creating that bond.
For both coaches, there have been a number of your colleagues who've said that the playoff diminishes the value of the bowl games outside the playoff. Do you feel like making a bowl is more important than winning it?
Well, I don't think it's necessarily more important. I think every time we step on the field to compete, we're trying to win, and that's important. You know, and if you're not trying to do that, then why are you even playing the game? So, you know, we want to go out and win. I know the coach wants to go out and win with his team, and, you know, that's the competitor in you. You know, and the way we run our program, everything we do is competitive. We want to win every single rep that we're doing, and so you're on the field and you're playing, yeah. You know, you want to go out there and win the football game. This will be no different. And, you know, obviously it's a lot of build up when you make a bowl game, you know, and you have those 3 or 4 weeks to get ready for the game. And all the things we just talked about, the bonding, the extra practices for the young guys, all those things are important. You know, it's very important. But at the end of the day, when you get ready to play the football game, you want to win. There's no question about it. Otherwise, nobody would be in this sport, I don't think. I think, you know, these guys, you know, when they go out and want to play and win the game, and there's times I think with bowl games that maybe teams don't want to be there, you know, and that's what I was talking about earlier as far as the teams that want to be there, that they're excited about it, I think usually end up playing well and ended up having a great experience.
Yeah, I think more than anything, you know, maybe not like basketball or baseball where you can play a game and then you got another one coming around the bend in a couple of days. You know, football is unique in the sense that you work almost an entire year for 12 opportunities. And if you do well enough in more than half of those opportunities, you're rewarded with an opportunity to play another one. And the competitive aspect, the developmental aspect of it, you know, it's, as Coach mentioned, it's another time to be together with the team. It's another time to prepare, another time to put a game plan together, another time for the kids to get out on the field and compete their tails off. And, you know, not everyone in the country is awarded that opportunity. And, you know, there's a bunch of teams sitting at home right now, you know, watching bowl games on TV or watching a playoff and, you know, wishing they would have that opportunity. And, you know, Coach and I in our programs are very fortunate to have that. So, you know, when you play 12 and you have an opportunity for the 13th one, I think you really have to cherish it because not everybody has that opportunity.